Some of the headlines. This first one's not a great headlines. Pelicans, they're 1-15 in their last 16 games. We now know, of course, that Zion's not coming back anytime soon. Brandon Ingram has missed the last 5 games. Lou, I don't know what kind of a future you're envisioning here in New Orleans.
It's probably going to be one without Zion Williams and Brandon Ingram.
It's going to be Cooper Flag.
Right. That's
going to be
what I'm
Cooper
guessing.
Flag
Listen,
in that future.
It's one thing to have injuries. It's another thing to be 1-15 over your last 16. And now these reports are starting to come out. Like, you can see that we're going to throw the blame at Zion. Like,
yeah, of course.
You hear the narratives. You know, he's not in shape, this and that, the tattoo. At this point, it's time for a restart. Maybe it's an opportunity for him to go somewhere else, get into a team that's going to value him, that's going to make sure that he stays healthy on the floor. But, you know, as far as the New Orleans Pelicans are concerned, this looks like they're going to be part of the sweepstakes for a Cooper Flag or one of these other young guys in the draft.
And I think the frustration does come from Zion just because the years of missing time and the injuries that have kind of added up. But look at their team. They've been plagued with injuries since day one.
Brutal.
DeJounte's played 5 games. Murphy's played 9 games. CJ's played 9 games. Ingram's only played 16 games. So, like, their whole team, Alvarado, he's hurt. Herb Jones, like, literally every single one of their role players, their big-time guys has been out. So this team, it's not even a product right now that's supposed to compete. Like,
well, they're not even close.
They're not. I mean, they're.
This was a team we trained to be one of the top teams to be competitive this year, coming out of that Western Conference. They're not even close. You know, even when you get C.J. McCollum back on the floor, DeJounte Murray, as they're working their way back into these lineups, you're still not putting a quality product out on the floor that makes these New Orleans Pelicans fans excited about the future.
And I'll say just the unknown of Brandon Ingram not re-signing his deal, him going to hit the free agent market, Zion. His health has always been an issue. They make this move where they get rid of kind of their young piece and Dyson Daniels. Now he's kind of blown up in Atlanta. DeJounte hasn't found his rhythm in New Orleans.
That's right.
So they pay Trey Murphy, and I feel like that was a good signing. At least they have some security there with a nice 3-and-D wing for the next 4 or 5 years. But this team has a lot of decisions to make. I've heard they've been for sale for like years. They're so like who knows what's going to happen with ownership and management. But it's a disaster.
The Brandon Ingram part, too, because everyone's, watching him, body language, obviously not thrilled with how things have played out. Shams reporting he wants to be part of a, quote, winning competitive environment. I mean, I would think so. Why not? Are we going to move him this season while you can get something?
You should. You absolutely should. And kudos to Brandon Ingram, right? He's one of these guys that's always been business as usual. He doesn't make a lot of headlines with the things that he says. Outside of his play on the basketball floor, he's been a professional. He stayed down. He hasn't given these guys anything to criticize him about besides being unhealthy. Give him an opportunity to be competitive. You know, he's been in a position in his career, even from the start of the Lakers. When he was with the Lakers, you know, you had so many different things going on in that environment where he wasn't in an environment to win. Now you go over to New Orleans, still not in an environment to win because of injuries and all of these things. Give him an opportunity to get his career from point A to point B, where we can respect him as one of the stars of the league.
He's one of these guys that, as talented as he is, he's got to find a way to fit, though, as well. Like, you could agree, like, he was a better, more talented basketball player than Kuzma, right, when he was on the Lakers?
Absolutely.
They got rid of him and kept Kuzma because he was a better fit, system-wise, team-wise. Doesn't mean he's better or less talented. Brandon Ingram is unbelievably talented. The way he can score, his height, his size, his handle. So, as good as he is, he does need to go somewhere where in that system, that offense, he can kind of do his thing. There's going to be a lot of options because a lot of teams are going to want him. He's young enough. He's in his prime. And again, like Lou said, he's been professional. He's been he's just been a little banged up this year and hasn't been in the rotation and in another lineup. But again, he's as good as he is. He's got to have the right fit. He's got to have the right system.
I think he just has to be healthy. When he's on the floor, he's a baller.
And I think that was New Orleans. If New Orleans is healthy, dude, like last year they were so good when they were rolling. We were talking Willie Green, Coach of the Year, like. They've just been plagued with injuries, and it's unfortunate.
Somebody put a curse on the Pelicans. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, did you get the origin? All right, George Yang joins the show. Chandler will work on it. There he is.
Hey, or hey.
Run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.